All right, welcome everybody. 2026 JCTV. Okay, let's talk about sports. Actually, this is a funny story, everybody. Before I get into the funny story, just want to say, hope everybody had a great holiday season. Hope everybody had whatever you celebrate. You celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa. You celebrate. What did I miss? I don't. I want to. I missed something. Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. If you sell whatever you celebrate, and hope everybody had a happy New Year. Great start to the new year. I've been dragging ass since the start. I was telling bruh before we got on. I've been dragging trying to get my 2026 started, but I'm a little bit hard on myself though. Um, I started off the year. The this is the official first episode of JCTV for 2026 because on Sunday there's no sound on it and they cut it. I was worth it was about an hour. Man, it was about 2 hours worth of content with no sound. And I can say this now because nobody can refute it. I think too, I had like some of my best points. I was going solo. I was sitting there. I didn't have dudes cutting me off. I didn't have nobody telling me whatever. I was just able to just I was able to get every point off that I wanted to get off with no push. And when I went to download it to cut it, as I started cutting it up first, and then I was leaving it, I didn't hear it. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And come to find out, again, it's worth of footage with no sound on. Good practice. I learned my lesson. I always do a sound. We came on early. I do a sound check, try to record it, and then just to make sure it's running, make sure everybody can hear me. Didn't do that. See, I didn't have anybody there to tell me, hey, I can't hear you, and I'm just sitting there talking. Wow, with some of the best stuff I think I ever said. You can hear it. Nobody ever heard it. So, but me, I heard it. So, welcome everybody, and I have two of my everybody. If you put eyes on JCTV, you know who we have with us right now. But I'm still going to introduce. I got two guests today. We don't have all 5, 6 mics on today. It's just three of us today, so we can talk today. Everybody points out and we can express ourselves today. I have Deuce, Fred White. What's happening with y'all? You see the background? Do you have the background on? Do you have Fred White all state? Can we see it? If you can't, like show so everybody can see it.
It is. It's there. It's there.
Is there as you are
It's
making
there.
as you are making your new I'm gonna let you talk in a minute. I'm cutting you off now. As you are making your New Year's resolutions, one thing you should be resolved in is have insurance together. And that is we've talked about like having make sure that you have your car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, have all that together. And we're at the end of it, we're gonna come back and do a pull up. So everybody, you gotta wait. No. I'm gonna let them do it up front. So make sure everybody get it in case they have these short attention dues. Just go ahead and say a couple words, man, and tell them about how to get in touch with you.
Man, I appreciate that. I want to say, man, Happy New Year to everyone. And my New Year started off great. I had some good experiences with some great people, man, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Some family, friends. Only thing I didn't enjoy was the Volunteers losing to Illinois in a cold Music City Bowl. I'm still not over that just yet. But outside of that, it was great. But on to insurance, man. Make sure you have all your stuff in order. Start the new year off with your stuff in order. Check and see what you have when it comes to your bodily injury as well as your property damage for your auto insurance. Check and see what your deductibles are. Check and see if you have roadside assistance or not. All of those things matter. Um, get your car ready and your home ready for the winter. The winter is right around the corner. It may snow some in some of these places. It may also just get cold. Check your tires. Tire pressure matters.
Hey,
Those
real
type of things really do matter.
let me say something real quick because I know you're
Mhm.
from Griffin. You said winter. say winter in Georgia. I don't know where it is. That
Winter.
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 Oh,
There's
okay.
a T in there, Jeff. There is a T.
It is,
And I,
but we don't use it. We don't
there
use it
is a
in the
T
South.
in there.
We don't use it there, but we don't use it in the winter. In the winter. All right. But go ahead. Sorry.
But
Just give me your
this is your time to get your if you're gonna run your fireplace, make sure you got your chimney cleaned out. All those type of things matter, man. You see a lot of different things happen during this time of year. Make sure you don't have leaves on top of your roof. And here's the reason why. One of those
yeah.
reasons is the fact that every time it rains, if you have leaves piled up on your roof, it's basically raining on your roof twice. Please get those leaves off your roof. And if the fire does happen and you have leaves on top of your roof, it's going to ignite even faster because those leaves burn faster than paper. So those are a few tips, man, to get yourself ready for the winter and just get your new year started off right. And
This
you
first
can reach
episode
me
is
for any questions that you have.
like call
But
it.
you can reach me for any questions that you have. And our office number is 770-381-0367. Whether you do business with me or not, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Yes. First episode of the season sponsored by Fred White,
You're in good hands, baby.
Allstate Insurance. I really appreciate that. I also have, he's not even. None of y'all are guests. I don't want to quit. He's not a guest. I'm not even gonna refer to him as a guest anymore. My brother, Rob Report. Rob, tell him, talk to him, man. Just say hello. Happy New Year to you too, brother. And just
Absolutely.
give us a few words you want to give us to start off the new year with Gamecocks in South Carolina and what's going on down there. Just anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to say how I went on a nice little trip to a bowl game in Florida to watch the Gamecocks play, but obviously that didn't happen. Uh, but nah, the New Year was great. Christmas was great. I was just telling Deuce before we got started. It seems like Christmas is all about the kids now. So they had a good time. Everybody was good. My wallet was not good after Christmas for the kids, but uh, yeah, it was kind of rough from this past year. But nah, everything was good. So. Looking to get started with a great new year. So far, it's been off to a great start, at least for me. Hope it's been the same for y'all. And just ready to keep it rolling.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all being here. I know, like I
For
said,
sure, for sure.
it's sometimes that first week. So appreciate y'all jumping on. And because this again, a lot of these are conversations, side conversations that we all have. So I like to get on here and share these with and let them hear about, because these are important things going on right now. And I tell people all the time with college football, there is really no off season. And when I explain it, Odin, the game we played, there was really no off season. You go from, like, you just ended a bowl, you play a bowl game in January or whatever it is, and you hit it with winter workouts, morning runs, which bleeds into spring practice, which leads into summer workouts, which leads into camp, which leads into the season. Then you wash, rinse, repeat. Now it's the same thing, but it's a lot more high stakes. Like, even the little what we thought was a quiet period, a little bit of a dead period between, we're still, and this is we're going to talk about a little bit too. We're still trying to decide the champion for this year. Where in the past, what is this then? We hit our, what is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow, dude? Is it the 7th? Is when we play? Was it January 7th? Is tomorrow?
January
Didn't
4th is when we
we
played.
play on the 7th?
We played on the 4th.
So we had, like, yeah, the 4th. So season was no, but anyway, season was over with by now. But they're still trying to decide the champion right now, and that's not even what we're going to start off talking about today. We're not trying to decide or talking about who just won the championship or debating the game and all good stuff. We're sitting here. If you see right now, the transfer portal chaos, like, and what we're going to talk about is how that's important to what's coming up in these Final Four. We're going to touch on that a little bit too, but we're going to come back on Thursday before we get started to relate the transfer report. Like, that is like, it used to be, recruiting process was the main thing, and that didn't wind down until after the season was over with. You're talking about well into January. Sometimes it bled into February if somebody didn't know what they wanted to do, if they were indecisive. The change when we had the early signing period. That start like that, there's a lot that's different right now. Your signing period, which is the signing period right now. I think the only signing period, the one that's important. And then you started to have what we have with NIL and the portal right now. Of the portal, I'm in favor of NIL, all of it. It's going to be tweaked. I know it needs some changes, things of that nature. But I want to hear from you guys. Who's listening to Mary J. Blige right now?
Not
Who's
me.
paying Mary J. Blige?
I have zero music playing.
Mary J. Blige somewhere. But okay. So it's really important to when we're talking about the portal that this is. Let me just get a mic up for it because I've been talking an awful lot. Let me get your guys' thoughts on it. And the way I want to tee it up, where I want to start this is we're into the start of the portal right now. Talk about the timing of it and just how crazy it's been. And then Rob, let me start with you. Let's talk about just in general how you feel about that right now.
Yeah. So, well, as far as the portal overall, before I get into the timing of it, I'm like you. Well, let me say this. I mostly like it, mostly love it. Like you said, there's some things that definitely need to be changed as far as like tweaks that need to be made. I definitely think that, we need to have some type of, we do have a governing body, but they're not governing anything as far as the NCAA is concerned. But outside of that, I would definitely say the reason why I do have my I don't want to say issues with it is that, this past year or this current off season, we've got a third of college football in the portal right now. And I kind of look at that with like one eyebrow raised because on one end, I'm with you. Like I'm for the transfer portal. I think the intent was originally to give, individuals an opportunity, what I'm saying, especially if they could showcase, what they could do on the field at the place that they were currently at, gives them an opportunity to go somewhere else to showcase their skills. I'm totally with that 100%. But I think what has since happened is, with the boom of NIL, the transfer portal is kind of being taken advantage of. And I don't think a lot of these young men realize, the grass ain't always greener on the other side for some of them. I'm with for everybody getting their money 100%, especially, when you got coaches out here making $6, $7, $8, $9 million a year. Definitely with the players, getting their fair share. But I just, there needs to be a little bit of a cautionary tale, you know what I'm saying? Because I think some of these young men might be making this situation worse. And like I said, we need a governing body to actually step in and govern something. The NCAA is just pretty much worthless, in my opinion, just sitting back and letting everything happen the way it's been happening. So, but overall, like I said, I do love it from the standpoint of we're definitely seeing a lot more parity, especially with this playoff this year. And I think it's going to be like that for years to come. So overall, I do like the transfer portal and what it's doing. It does have its little hiccups, but I do like it overall.
I'm kind of
Hold on, but sorry. Before you do that, because I think there was a point that we need to touch on. I'm sure you have a thought on this too. You just said something, Rob, but the number of there's 4,500 kids. There's 3,000 over 3,000 D1 kids, and another 1,500 kids are from the SES and Division III level that are looking to move up. There's 4,500 kids in the portal right now. I saw that number. I started doing some research. That's a lot of kids. So I'm thinking, but I was like, there can't be 4,500, just 4,500 applicants, and I'm like, there can't be 4,500 jobs available. Then I look the last couple years, many of these kids aren't signing. The number is anywhere between 40 and 45% and the number's been about the same the last couple years, anywhere between 3,000 4,500 kids. And I think even a year or two ago, it was more. It's like 5,000 kids. And there's 40 to 45% aren't signing. Now I'm trying to figure out what's happening to these kids. I don't know what that number, like what that outcome is. But that's to your point. That is a Deuce. As give your take on that, and like I said, we all think it's a good thing. And but as far as the timing and or should you be doing it, just can add some of that to your thought. Give us your take on what you think about the portal.
Well, I agree. I like the portal. I like the fact that these guys can leave now. But I would like to see a different type of governing, more rules involved in it. But here's the thing, though. University of Tennessee, we had a situation with a player that we had to get rid of, pretty much. Every school out there has a few players that they want to get off of their roster, and they're asking them to go to the portal. And some of these guys are just bad apples out of the bunch, or they're just locker room killers, right? So some of these things are caused by the player themselves as well. So I think there's not a team out there that has a player that they don't want in their locker room anymore. And now some of these guys are also asking to just, I think you might want to go ahead and jump in the portal. There are more coaches saying that than what people realize. But now that part of it, the other part of this is a lot of coaches get fired. When these coaches get fired or change and go to a different school, for instance, we just took the defensive coordinator from Penn State. We also got the linebackers coach, the defensive back coach, the corners coach from Ohio State. You also have the Ohio State's wide receiver coach, Brian Hartline, just took a head coaching job. So these guys came in to play for these guys. So now they're leaving because of that. Before you couldn't do that. Now you can. So I can kind of understand that. Now, here's the other thing of that. Hold on, let me finish. Here's the other thing of that. There's a lot of players that go into the portal that may not even transfer because they may see that they don't have a place to go. Now, there's a lot of guys that won't make it. There are a lot of guys that may be sitting themselves down to D2 for the next year, or a school like a James Madison or a Liberty or some of those other schools, simply because there's not enough spots to go around for some of these guys. But I don't have an issue with that simply because you had the opportunity to, if I had an opportunity to go play for a coach, and then he leaves, whether it be a position coach, whether it be a head coach or defensive coordinator, and he leaves, I should have the option to be able to leave as well. Now, what I would like to see the NCAA do is make it to where you couldn't transfer every year or three times in 2 years type of thing. I don't think that should be an issue. Now, here's the other thing that you can kind of throw out there, and I felt like this was a good idea. I feel like the idea of having more than a 1 year contract. If you stay, you get this. If you leave, you only get this. If you stay for 4 years, this is what your numbers look like. If you stay for 3 years, this is what your numbers look like. But I also feel like the team should still have an opportunity to say, or a chance to say, you might need to just go ahead and go into the portal, because the kid may come and not do anything. But I paid you all this money, and you want to stay for 4 years since you know you're going to be able to get that. Here's the other thing, though. If you look at the programs that are winning and making it to the playoffs, they don't have a whole lot of transfers that are starting for them. And that makes a difference. If it was only about just gathering talent, if that was the only way to win a championship, is just gathering talent, the team that has the number one recruiting class every year would win the national championship. And that's just simply not the case. If you're looking at it from that standpoint, a few years ago, the Washington Redskins, they're now of course the Commanders, but they would go out and sign every big name free agent that they possibly could. Here's the one thing that you cannot get past in order to win a national championship. If you don't have the chemistry in your locker room, I don't care what the talent looks like, you're not winning a national championship. You're not winning the Super Bowl or any of those type of things. No championships are won off just talent alone. So those are things that need to go away, or people need to realize and understand. It's that chemistry that you build in your locker room. That chemistry is what's going to help you win that national championship or that Super Bowl or whatever it may be. You're not winning championships without that.
Okay, so as you say that, because I had another question I wanted to ask you, but you made a real strong point in size that I ain't even going to disagree with you. I'm going to ask you to support what you just said in regard, because you made a lot of great points. Let me start off with that first. Before I get to this, I do want to say to you a couple smaller points before I get to this bigger point. That's the real big elephant in the room that you put out there. Like this, the thing about following a coach, and I know it's going to be a little bit hard to answer this question. Now you can't, guys. We'll be back in. You'll see the faces in a minute with the graph, but I know we couldn't really follow a coach like that. But when that start to just, I'm going to go where the goes, and I know that was a big thing in like track and other. So I didn't really see that a lot in football. You went to somewhere for the schooling for whatever else and everything. Like the following the coach around thing is a little bit odd to me. Like,
Um,
I know that's who recruited you. Why is that such a big deal right now?
well, that's the person you have the very relationship with. That's the person that you know is going to put you on the football field. And then in today's game, when a new coach comes somewhere, you have no idea if that guy is going to is going to like you or not. He may bring players with him, and if he brings those players with him, I promise you he's going to give those guys a shot because he brought them with him. And back in the day when we were playing, and you said ancient, I'm not ancient, damn it, but I
Yeah.
want to address that.
No,
But
but
back in
you're
the
right
day,
because you made. I talked about that in another video with the same thing. A new coach, a position coach came in, and he leaned more. Came in the spring, the guys or the fall guys that he signed, and I've been there,
yeah,
and he leaned more towards the guys he had just.
exactly.
Yeah, you. That's the point there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, my nephew played at Appalachian State these the
That's correct.
last for 4 years. He was there for 4 years, and well, five because they had the COVID year. But he played there for 4 years. Started for 3 years. New coaching staff comes in, and he was all conference the year before. Didn't play. They brought three players with them, all played the same position, and they all played. They brought them with them, and he didn't play. How you go from not being a conference, all conference football player, the next after 3 years of being a starter, and then you don't play at all? Come on, man. Like that's happening in a lot of
Yeah,
places. When
I
a
understand.
coach comes in
I
nowadays,
understand.
they bring a player in with them. That's the player that's playing. You need to know that.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
getting ready to say, I wanted to say right quick, like take example the Oklahoma State situation. Oklahoma State got the new head coach that came over from North Texas. Both the quarterback and running
Quarterback.
back from North Texas followed him to Oklahoma State, and I
That
think
top defensive lineman and top
Mhm.
offensive lineman went too.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, it's other than just the bond and the relationships you create, it's also the familiarity of the system that you run, the stats that you put up in that old system, and you may want to keep that thing going just because you're comfortable in that system. So
Hmm.
definitely, I can see why
Yep.
today, especially with a lot of these spread and high-powered offenses, that a lot of these quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, they may want to stay with that coordinator, stay with that head coach because they're comfortable with that system.
Absolutely. And
But also,
Georgia Tech's
I will.
quarterback, Georgia Tech's quarterback,
Yeah.
Aaron Philo, he left Georgia Tech to go to Florida. You know why he went there? The Florida, the offensive coordinator that was at Georgia Tech is now the offensive coordinator at Florida. So he went with him.
Well, I know it's. I was just trying to dig into the psyche of why it's happening because we're banking on that on the defensive side right now. It's not just the offense. Like Jim, we're trying to get 3, 4, 5 Penn State players and a couple Ohio State players because we hired the coordinator from Penn State, cornerback coach from Ohio
Absolutely.
State. We got like, and we're trying to leverage that relationship to get some of these other guys. Like I said, I know it's happening. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just trying to dig into the
Oh
psyche
yeah.
of why. And with Jim, I think they're talking about because like how the things I've heard is that his defense is a little bit harder to learn. So if you can just shorten that learning curve and bring in some players that already know at each level, because we're looking at somebody on the line, linebacker, and the secondary. You get somebody in there that can help teach the team. Like you got another coach on the field that can help their peers and help their players learn
What
that. I
made
get it, but
one
I
of the things
just
that made
a little
one
different.
of the things that made us good back in the day, JC, was the fact that when you got on campus, if you made a mistake in practice, the person who played in front of you or the same position as you or the same position group as you got to you before the coaches did. So by the time the coaches got to you, you've heard it 3 times already from somebody else. Man, what are you doing? This is what you got. Why you don't jump in that gap? Or this is your man. This is the coverage we're playing. What are you looking at? Somebody's gonna get on you and tell you what you're doing wrong before the coach gets there. So that part
That's
of
absolutely
it
right.
makes a difference.
Yeah,
It makes you better at because you
it
got
does.
you're not just if only one person out of that group knows your defense, it's not going to be good for you. You know what I mean? If the coach is the only guy that can lead when it comes to being on the football field, you don't have a good football team.
You got to think when you're out there running periods and you're going, through the plays. Coach is out there coaching everybody else, but got that guy that you just talked about that's over there when you come off that's coaching you up saying, "Hey, I watched you. You need to go do X, Y, Z." And you got another coach on the field. That's a key point. So I
Yeah,
get it. Like I said, I
I want
wasn't not to get
I
my
want
idea.
I want to show some love to a guy that played with us, Tori Noel. Tori Noel,
Tino.
I made a mistake in practice one day, and I'll never forget this. And I never made like a real mistake in practice since that time. You know what I mean? Because he was like he went to the side, he
Yeah,
came to the sideline, and he jacked me up, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" He was like, "We're running the same plays, bro. The same plays. If
Mm.
you ain't watching me, what are you doing?" He was like, "Pay attention to what's happening in practice. Pay attention to what's happening on the football field. We run the same exact plays. The same 6 plays we run, the same 6 plays the second team gonna run in the same order. So if you make a
Yeah.
mistake, that means you're not paying attention. So that made that part of it taught me something different. And a coach didn't have to tell me that. My player that was in front of me told me that.
So and I did shout out to Tino not for first of all, Tino, because he would help anybody on defense. He would help all of us out. But I had
Orange
that too
Mound.
at the end. Steve White, Orange Mound, the Mound, Melrose, one of the finalists. That's right. So I had Steve White. That was one of the Steve, and Steve he wouldn't say it to you as nice as what Tori probably said it to you. Steve would give it to you like raw, uncut, and rest in peace to Steve White, man. I love Steve. Like I said, Steve didn't have he was one of those people that he was rough around the edges, but and you knew if he was talking to you, he wouldn't waste time if he didn't have an interest in you, if he didn't care. So just like the fact that he was coaching and telling you about, hey man, like just like kind of like what you said, we've done this before. This isn't new. What are you doing? We would get that same thing from him. John Emery, John, another one who was one of those coaches. John had a lot of injuries, sometimes with the talent that he had. John was immensely talented, but he had injuries.
Absolutely.
But he always he would just coach out the field and then build up. Like would build up as a tackle, and he would coach some. He would the X and O's, but he would also say, "Hey man, you're not giving it today. They putting in the effort today." So you do need that from your peer because you tired of getting yelled at by the coach or coached by the coach. So having players who know the system and know what to do, what you're doing, is also it's real important. But I ain't gonna
It
let I
is.
ain't forget you. I ain't let you get this off. I'm coming back to this traffic right here. I just had a real nice. You see how nice me Rob. You see how nice me and him played right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hey,
Here come the shenanigans,
what
Rob.
are you talking?
Oh boy.
I'm talking about the hell you just say. I wish I had a button to rewind. Let me. I'm gonna ask you before I gonna let you look at this, and I'm gonna ask you now. What'd you say about recruiting and the transfers not doing? You want to look at this? I'm gonna give you an out. Like, look at this and say that again. Tell me that comment
Well,
that you made towards the end. about the look. Take a second. Don't be quick to draw
If
McGraw.
you
Look at
look
it.
at if you look at
Mhm,
these are the top
mhm.
groups right here, right?
These are the
Georgia
okay.
was
Let
there.
me.
They made the playoffs. Ohio State
Hold
playoffs.
These are all the
Oklahoma
12.
playoffs. Alabama playoffs.
Hold on,
Oregon
dude. Deuce, hold on. Wait a
playoffs.
minute. Dude, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna set the table for this. These are the all 12 playoff teams. So you don't have to go down the whole list. All 12 of these are the 12 playoff teams. And let me give a little bit of background on
Hmm.
this. When I first saw this list, I'm gonna be honest with you. I what pretty much verbatim what you just said that I'm calling you out on. So I'm up to that. When
Hmm.
I first saw this, Al showed me this. He was over here like 2-3 weeks ago before the playoffs started. He was like, "Hey man, look at this," and I had no idea. He was like, "Man, look, I actually got this from him," and he said,
Hmm.
"Look at this." I started looking at it. I'm like, Georgia, Ohio State, man, Oklahoma. I was like, Oklahoma, Alabama, or I was like, that makes sense because the way Georgia recruits, Ohio State recruits, the way all of these at the top, the way they recruit,
Hmm.
Alabama, Oregon with
Hmm.
their field night money. I'm like, okay, this makes perfect sense. I was like, everybody has to do this if you're gonna be successful. Because I'm thinking Georgia's been good; they've been good for a long time. Alabama has been a standard when they were with Saban. Ohio State just won it. Yada yada. I'm like, I was on that side of it before the playoffs started. I'm like, you have to build your team, and I'm gonna go back to that. You have to start there. Build your
Hmm.
team based off recruiting and development. I was like, you can't just go spend money. And I used like LSU. I used all the failed examples of people who threw money at the portal and it didn't work. I didn't look
Hmm.
at the bottom of this list, or I didn't have the experience of 2 weeks later, Ole Miss, Indiana, one, two, three, yeah, five, four, three of the top five are in the final four.
Hmm.
And you have look at these numbers as far as starts by first. Ole Miss, 66%. Indiana,
Hmm.
basically 6%, 65%. Miami, I'm old and can't see 50 whatever percent on that thing. So
53%.
three of the four or five have a whole lot of and then Oregon, I put they're a different they're different than everybody else on this list because of that Phil Knight situation in Nike. You see teams leaving Nike
Yes.
because they're getting preferential treatment. So they're on both of these numbers. They're getting recruits because of that, and they're getting they're an anomaly because you're gonna they can get
Hmm.
them at first. See that number with them, but you basically got three of the top five are transfers. That just blew that whole theory that I initially had, and that what you just said completely up. So you think
Well, well, here's
about that when
here,
you
here-
just pop have
here's what I
high high
here, here,
60.
here's here's a part of this though. I'm going to look at it and say it like this. Okay, that Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia can recruit not based off NIL. They're going to have recruits coming in every year because they built the program already. That program is solidified. That coach has been there for years. He's won national championships, won SEC championships. He gets his guys drafted. That's not going to change his players coming. They don't have a whole lot of team guys leaving. That means that they're going to have consistency of being in the top 10 every year, simply because of that having that nucleus together. Now, when it comes to the teams that are at the bottom of that list, when it comes to NIL money, Miami, Ole Miss, Indiana, hey man, they had to spend a lot of money to get some of these players. They had to go out there and spend it. Now, are they going to be able to build a sustainability? Is that sustainable? I don't know if that's going to be sustainable for them to be good every year if they're not putting out that type of money to get those recruits. But those teams, Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama, always build this because they have a nucleus already. They have set the standard and they got a foundation. Having that many starters that are your recruits, you recruited those guys, that means they bought into your program and they're not trying to leave. With these other teams, you got to find new players every year. Now, you do have some guys, like for instance, number one, Zacchaeus, I can't remember his last name, but that kid came over from USC, and he has made a difference at the University of Georgia.
Oh, Zachariah. Yeah, him and
You
his
have
brother.
a lot of different players.
His brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they came in and made a splash. Now they came in and did their thing. Now I understand picking and choosing a few players to add to your team. Now I'm not knocking Indiana or Ohio or Ole Miss. They did a good job with their NIL money and found the right players to fit their system. But you're gonna have to do that every year until you build that.
All right.
I want to be
So before,
here, and I have that nucleus together.
all right. So before I
What was you
flame
about
your
to say,
point
Jeff?
some more, I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say about that before I flame. I don't want to keep beating up his point because I'm gonna beat it up again. I want to hear what you have to say before I flame his point some more.
No,
Opinions are like buttholes, man. Everybody got one.
no. So
I'm
when I look at this graph,
but yeah,
when I see this graph and I see everything as far as the transfer portal, this is the exact reason why I like the transfer portal, because we don't have year to year, we got more parity. The same parity that we love in the NFL and the NBA, we now have that in college football. So that way we know hey, every year it's not going to be always Georgia and Ohio State and Clemson or whoever else. We got parity, because I can tell you right now, I know we had mentioned in the previous show, nobody thought Indiana would be in the position that they're in. Ole Miss as a program, Ole Miss, traditionally, I would say that they were one of those teams that was winning about 8, 9. Maybe they hit you with a 10-win season every year, but here they are in the Final Four. Miami, everybody's been screaming, "Hey, when's the U coming back?" Now they're in the running right now because of the transfer portal. So this is the exact reason why I do love the transfer portal, is because it does provide that parity. And I think that I hear what you're saying as far as the development, and you got to have the right guys in that locker room. But I also think it takes a strong mind, takes a strong coach to have the right culture that can take on all these transfers. You look at what's going on in Miami. You know what I'm saying? So they have clearly, in my opinion, the right culture so that they can take on a lot of these transfers from different places all across the country and have everybody bought in on the same page, whether you were brought in there straight from high school or you came there from another school. So I think that the culture does matter more so than anything else. And you got to have the right person in place.
That does
I
make a
think
difference. Makes a big difference.
I think that is the most important thing, because you get back to LSU, Brian Kelly wasn't the right person.
No.
But I think we all knew he wasn't the right person when they hired him, though. We knew
We
that.
knew
I
that.
think most of us knew he was not the right person.
Coach
I've never liked
is
Brian Kelly as a head coach.
wait a minute, and I just lost this man's name. What? And I said I don't like him, and I like him, and I hate him, and I love I don't like his personality. I like what he does as a coach, and I'm starting to tilt me. What's my man's name? Man? I just lost it. I'm bad.
Signietti or something like that.
Yes,
Is it
he
Signietti? Yeah.
and he just lit up the portal. He's like as we speak. We'll get to this in a little bit, but there's a couple things. Dude, you said you give you a hard time, but you always drop a whole lot of nuggets just like Rob about it. And you were talking about Ole Miss. Like, is this sustainable? But that's what they did under Lane Kiffin. What's his nickname? What's one of his nicknames? But not what people in Tennessee call him. We can't say that on here. And they call him the Portal King. He was called the Portal King, and that just leaves for me. For me, this is why I don't understand. And watching what Ole Miss first couple days, I'm even more leery. I don't understand why he left, because Ole Miss was going to match or pay more than what LSU was going to. And the whole thing, then what people went to then was, oh, they don't have the resources in the portal and NIL have at LSU. But this man has been getting people out the portal and recruits wherever he goes every year. And Ole Miss, I don't know. Or it's what active is called. Whatever they do, they get people to come there. They do whatever they doing at the Grove, whatever they doing down there. I don't know. They're still getting transfers right now, and I don't see it ending. And they're doing it with somebody who's less. It's about me, and that's why you see. And we'll
Is
talk
it
about that when we get before.
is it just me, or if I feel like if Lane Kiffin had stayed, they lose to Georgia.
They
I
lost to
truly believe
Georgia at home.
they.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I truly believe that if Lane Kiffin stays, I think Ole Miss is not in the playoffs right now. I'm being
No,
honest. I really feel like that. I feel like him leaving helped them have the motivation
yeah,
to even win. And I think, and Rob said this just a few minutes ago, having the right person in place. I think this coach that they have right now he's the interim coach, the defensive coordinator. He has the
he's not.
heartbeat of that whole team.
He's
And I
the head.
think
They named
he's
him
the
the head coach.
reason why. Yes, he's the head coach now. Yeah, he's the reason why they won that game. I don't think if Lane Kiffin was there, I think his ego is a little bit too big, and I don't think he could beat. I don't think he can beat Kirby Smart.
I
I just
agree
didn't
with
think
you
he
on that.
could.
And I think the play, like it's the mentality, like, and you're hearing it come out from a couple of the players about he
Hmm.
was trying to make about him. It was about, and they're not trying to bash him. They're having to drag this stuff. I know how to read between the lines when people say stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and it
Well,
was
Jeff,
just the preparation
when he,
thing.
when he came to Tennessee, he put up Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush on our halls.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I know.
hey man, that's who
So
he
yeah, I no,
is.
I
That's just who he is.
100%. They lost to Georgia at home, lost the big
Hmm.
lead because way he tried to continue playing with that lead at home, Florida has a different mentality about it. Now, whether
Hmm.
they're going to see, and that's what's going to really tell it, but I like that.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is a transfer destination, and we're gonna have to talk. 'Cause we all have to, I think, reassess and adjust the way we look at how the team. If you can, I think you can. To your point about Kirby can do this with 90% recruits, but when is Kirby gonna win another one though? But people start you saw
Mm-hmm.
the chink in their armor this year. We had them beat. Somebody else had Florida had them beat. It's not the Georgia we've been seeing. I know what there was. I know
Hmm.
where they made it. The Georgia from 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Are they going to be able to keep this up? And Rob said this earlier, and what I keep like I ain't gonna get into the S. The playing field is level because some of these kids that they were getting, they're gonna go other places. You see, Clemson was the test case for this.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Dabo Swinney was the test case of don't want to get any. Sure, did that get you? Where is that gonna get you? You can keep doing that if you want to. See what happens to you.
It's gonna get him
Hey,
fired.
So, and I don't think
he's gonna get
It's
fired.
gonna get him fired.
He's gonna get him fired.
you're fired. And I think that you have to, and maybe the sweet spot is 64, but you can't. I don't know if that 90% is going to keep Georgia. So, um, I know Ohio State, even their quarterback they had this year, got him out the portal from Alabama, but they don't win it last year without Will Howard. They don't win it
Well,
without my
here's
man. That's they got in the transfer portal. I know that number of recruits is high, but they don't win it without Judkins. They don't do this without the recruits, the transfers that they had.
let me say this about the state of Georgia, though. And I'm not, if all the top
Don't
players stayed in South Carolina,
I,
hold on, listen to me. If all the
right?
top players stayed in South Carolina is a different football team. If all the
Sure.
top players stay in Florida's a different football team, right?
Yeah.
So I know you got to recruit nationwide and all that type of stuff. But one of the reasons why Kirby had, man, listen, it's bigger than just it's bigger than just going to the school. If you're a kid from the state of Georgia, that's like being in Tennessee. If you're a kid that's one of the top players in the state of Tennessee, why would you leave Tennessee? It doesn't make sense. The reason why I'm saying that is this: these kids are getting, and I know this to be true because I helped recruit a kid that was from Georgia. He's a freshman offensive lineman right now at the University of Georgia, and he's from Westlake High School. He was one of the best players on their football team, and he's going to be a stud. He is a stud. He started as a freshman. I mean, this kid,
Yeah.
I think his whole family's life has changed because of him staying at Georgia. You understand? Staying in Georgia. Now, a lot of these kids,
Oh
hey
yeah.
man, mom and dad got a job because you stayed here at the University, of Georgia. Those type of things, or somebody helped find them a new house or something. And you can actually do that in today's world because they're getting paid money. Now, that's one of the reasons why Kirby Smart has 90% of his guys is that he recruited them. He does not recruit much outside the state of Georgia. He recruits outside the state of Georgia, but he goes and handpicks the ones he can get from other schools or from other states or whatever. But the majority of his players that he recruits every year, they come from the state of Georgia.
Well, and let me say, I agree with the bulk of what you just said. I agree with, but I think it's still changing with the time and what we're doing. Because, well, so you don't think this is the nature of the game? Dan Lanning being at Georgia, he was there for a while. He has connections, there, established connections there, and the Oregon
Mm-hmm.
resources that they're still in players. Georgia, and I agree. Like the other one, I agree with 100%. This is where folks get mad at me when I say like, if I come out of school, who would come out of school right now? None of us that were on this feed. I said it when we were on here before. None of us who are on here were from the state, except for Tron.
Hey, you're cutting out,
Tron
Jeff.
Yeah.
may have been in Tennessee. I would have been in Tennessee,
I think Jeff is glitching a
and
little bit there.
I'm like, that's not. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not being hurt when I say that. Oh, South Carolina, Clemson. You would have been at Georgia, Georgia Tech. Worm would have been at Mississippi.
If I came out in
Hold on.
this
Can you hear
era, if I came out in this era, I
me? Am I
doubt
back?
I can hear you now. If I came out in this era, I don't know if I leave the state of Georgia. I mean, I'm grateful that I came out in the era I did, and
You're
I never
not
even
leaving.
visited Georgia because I felt disrespected. You feel what I'm saying? And I went on an unofficial visit to watch them on spring practice or a spring game or whatever. But that was it. I didn't even want to take a visit because all these coaches were coming from all over the country to come visit me. And the one school that I did want to go to, in my backyard, I'm in their backyard, and they never even they started recruiting me. They recruited me, but it was just like, well, you'll come here anyway. Oh no, absolutely not. So I was grateful to go to
Yep.
a school like the University
That's
of
what they
Tennessee
felt like.
because, and I also felt like when I got on the University of Tennessee's campus, everybody wasn't just from Tennessee. They were from, like you said, Jeff, they were from South Carolina, North Carolina. They were from Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, Arizona, Chicago, St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like
Every
Texas. They were from everywhere.
we
California,
recruited the country.
but it was we recruited from everywhere. New Jersey, DC. It was, you know what I mean?
They
So like it was, we had people from everywhere,
they
man.
got they got the Al Wilsons, the Chad Cliftons, and those guys from Tennessee. Then they went and filled out
Yeah.
roster with everybody else. They got the very best of Tennessee, and then they went and filled out the roster from the rest of the country. And that was, you made the
Yeah. And
point I was
that, man,
making. I
that,
was
that
just
made a
like,
difference.
in this climate, I don't know if I would have been in Tennessee. I like they would have kept everybody in state. Like I said, you were Georgia Tech, because it would have been different. It's a different type of. But yeah,
Absolutely. Now here's the other thing,
But
JC.
this is
I'm being
and
real
getting
when I say this. I would have definitely left my freshman year. If it was
I
a
know
portal my freshman year, I'd have
I
probably
was
left the first two games of the season.
I don't remember. I would have opted out of the back state bowl and been gone. I would have been gone. I redshirted. I would have been out of there. I tried to no. I actually went and told Phil. I was Coach Cutler that he went to Clinton. Like somebody came and I was like I was gonna follow him. He laughed at me. He was like, "You ain't like where you going? What you gonna do?" I mentioned leaving to him. He laughed at me, man. Told me to get out of his office. He was like, "All right, okay, yeah." If we
Man,
had the
if
portal,
we
I
had the
would have
portal,
been gone.
Rob, hey, Rob, let me tell you something, Rob.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
My freshman year, I'm the second
out of
corner
there.
behind Ron Jenkins and Terry Fair. And we're getting ready to play Florida. And I didn't play the first game, I didn't play the first game. So I'm like, all right, we play against Florida. I'm the number two corner on both sides all week in practice. On Thursday, I found out I'm not even making the trip. Listen, the two names that were in front of me, I'm not going to disrespect anybody. I love my boys. I still love them to death. So I'm not going to say the names.
I said,
But man, let me tell you something.
I said,
When they, no, don't
I
say
say
it,
their
JC.
names. No,
I got love for my boys, man. I got love for my boys, man.
James Smith and Troy Pratt. James Smith, Troy Pratt.
they,
I know who
they,
went who's corners out there.
hey man,
James Smith and
I
Pratt.
felt so disrespected that I could not believe that I didn't make the trip. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm
Let me
telling
say
you
this
right
along
now,
those lines. Listen,
I would have packed my bags, and by the time that plane got back to Knoxville, all my stuff would have been gone. You hear me?
during that
I
game, okay, so
promise you.
that game you just talking about, that's the game we went up. Like Rob, we were about to run off on floor. We at the swamp, about to run off. That's the only game we lost that year too. We about to run off on Florida. We about to go in 31, like or 20 it was. Jay before Jay fumbled.
Hmm.
We over there, we giving them the business. In the swamp, it's 100 degrees. We don't care. We like whatever. And one of these dudes that they took down there, my boy, I ain't say these dudes. That's my boy too. That's my teammate. Love him. He was sitting. I don't think he played it down. I don't even think he was on the kickoff team or nothing. We went up and he turned around at the fans and started doing a gator chunk. And it's like, dude, stop. Like, what are you doing? It's the first half. Man, right? Like the next series, we went and fumbled. They picked it up, ran it in. Like it just went all
Oh,
hell broke loose after he did that.
oh, hell.
If Deuce that
Well,
wouldn't have happened. Oh shit.
here's
That
something
was
that happened in that. Here's something that happened in that game. It was one of the players that they took in my place right before the half gave up a touchdown pass, and I was sitting there like that was supposed to be me. I was supposed to be calling that guy,
Damn.
Troy Pratt. I just could not believe. I was like, that was supposed to be
I
me.
told you
It's the,
Brad and
if you
Smith was
go in
at
at halftime 30 something to 10 as opposed to 30 something to 17, it's still a different ball game.
Hmm.
They scored right
so
before the half,
and in
man, and I
defense,
still
I'm gonna tell you why they did it. Because of the age factor. Because going on the road in the SEC, going to Florida, you're a true freshman. Both of those, James that came from JUCO, Troy was old. Like Troy was a senior. Troy was a senior that year, and he
hey
ran
man, I
track.
don't
Like
care
he had
about all that.
experience, and they
I ain't even gonna
well,
lie, I
I'm
don't care
telling you,
about
I know.
all that.
I didn't say it was, and but I'm just telling you why they did it. I'm telling you why they did it.
I'm just saying. So you mean to
It was
tell
the
me
experience.
if we run the ball
I know.
against Florida in '97 with Jamal Lewis and Mark Levine a little more than 5 times in the whole game, you don't think we have a better chance at it? Jamal didn't even play at all.
Like
I don't care about no
I was
age,
not
man. So
justifying it.
if it's about age, if
I
it's
was
about age, Jeremiah Smith shouldn't be on the football field. He was the best receiver out there last year. I'm just saying, bro. I don't care about no age. You put the ballers on the field. I don't give a damn what their age is.
I'm just they made the mistake. You need to understand
Hey, man.
it's a
That's
knowledge
why
mistake. I'm telling you like this.
those mistakes will get you fired, in my opinion.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just saying, bro. It don't make sense. I couldn't imagine. I
So
couldn't
we're gonna
imagine
make this
being
too wicked.
Jeremiah Smith on a
So
football team,
went to the
and
portal,
I'm not
and it's
playing at all.
crazy.
That's crazy.
It's okay, man. Let it go.
Hold on, Jeff.
It's all right. We won.
You feel me, Rob? I know it's
Let's talk
wrong.
about.
Yeah.
I understand. Like I'm not. They were wrong. They were obviously wrong. But I'm just telling you what the mindset was behind it. And
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not the Tennessee hour. Let's get back to this portal thing.
Hold
A
on,
lot
Jeff.
of action.
I gotta say one more thing, Jeff. I'm sorry. One more thing. I do understand not playing a freshman if they're not ready, because John Henderson and Albert Haynesworth were not ready as freshmen. I do understand that.
No, and John's in the Hall of Fame, and just played his freshman
Exactly.
year like that.
Yeah,
Right.
they
So
weren't
I
ready
mean
as
that's
freshmen, but that's a different, that's a different position though. You got to go down there and go with some
two
grown
first
men. 2 first-round picks and
people
2.
have,
I mean,
but you got a complex Florida offense too, though. So you got to think about that. You got a complex stuff, and they're doing what they do. So you got to understand. I get not
hey man,
wanting to put a freshman out.
if I'm
You
an
got
offensive coordinator, and I'm looking at Troy Pratt and I'm looking at my receiver, I'm going at him every play.
don't do Troy like that, man.
I'm just
Hey,
saying.
shout out to Louisiana. Hey
No,
Troy, if you
man,
out there, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, let me tell you the
he
last
was
time I talked to Troy.
Troy was a track athlete, and
Troy
that
was.
was really his first year playing football.
Let me tell you what's funny. I kept talking to because Troy used to play word friends. We used to play like Scrabble and stuff. Troy got mad at me, man, because I was beating his ass in Scrabble and cheating and shit. Like, what was wrong with you?
Hey,
He
man, and
got
I had some good
and then he
times with
turned
Troy
into
Pratt
like
too.
so.
Troy was a cool dude,
If you
man.
out there, if you catch this, man, I don't care. Unblock friends, you still my boy, man. I love you, Troy, man. I don't care what we said about you getting burned out.
He said, block me on words.
I can say that. I won't let nobody. Right? I'll say that, but you better not say that.
Oh man,
You can say it too, Deuce. Anybody about you, man, you know it.
oh yeah, absolutely, without a
I'll
doubt,
fight anybody that was not Troy
without a
Pratt. I'll
doubt.
say it, but you better not say nothing about Troy Pratt or James Smith. Don't say
Everybody on
nothing
our
about
team
either
can play.
one of them.
Everybody on our team could play.
Right.
That's without a doubt. So I'm not saying they couldn't play.
So
I was just upset that I was the number 2 corner behind on both sides, and I didn't even travel.
I got work that we gonna wrap up. We want to talk a little bit about the portal movement, the portal movement, and then we're gonna do a little bit about the Final Four that's coming. Hey man, this thing is crazy because I'm looking at. Can y'all see this? Like this is everybody who's committed. So I didn't want to pull up. Like we can name some of the guys. They don't come off the top of my head. I don't think they were that important. But this is who like the movement. Just look to see where they're going. Like Byron Brown, South Florida to Auburn. Auburn's lost. What's my man name? King something. Like he could still he hasn't signed. But I don't know if I think the reason why Kim Coleman left. I know the reason why Cam Coleman left Auburn is because of their quarterback situation. He didn't trust and believe in what they had there. And he's still out. Do you think Byron is enough to get him to come back to Auburn? No.
I
Yep.
don't. Well, here's the
Is
thing.
Byron Brown
Byron
gonna get
Brown
Cam
played.
Coleman back?
Byron Brown played at. He came with the head coach from South Florida, so he does know the offense, and he did do pretty good last year in that offense in South Florida.
Yep.
So I mean, is it enough to bring him back? You're also coming in with a whole new head
Another
coach, so
yeah. So you got that
I don't know
situation
what's going to happen
again.
with that.
The quarterback following a player. All right. So I'm looking at this list. I don't want to talk about every one of them. So I'm trying to pick Auburn lost Ashton Daniels. They lost who hadn't signed yet.
Yeah.
So Florida State is toast. They're done. I don't care about them. I don't. None of this right here moves the needle. I like. Okay, Austin Simmons. It's one of those when they tell you that your injury can't cost you. It can. But if you lose your job to Trinidad, this is not like the worst thing in the world. From what I saw, Austin Simmons, I think he's a good quarterback. I think out of this particular list, he's not Trinidad Chandler, but the rest of this is just.
I don't know. What do you think about?
What about the guy?
What do you think about Sam Leavitt? Sam Leavitt is visiting the University of Tennessee, the quarterback from Arizona State.
Before you get to that, because there's a couple of them, I just want to talk commitment that I do want to talk about. So is that Anthony Calandria? Is that the one who opted out last year? He was playing with UNLV. He started. They were undefeated. They were like 3-4, and then he was like, they didn't give him the NIL package that they promised him. And he said,
I don't think that's the same kid.
I'm out of here. You sure about that? Is this the one who played after him, or is that him?
I think it's the kid that played after him.
Look that up?
I'm looking it up as we speak.
Phil here to look up our fact. Phil is my fact checker guy. He ain't here to.
Your fact checker.
So
I'm pretty sure this is not the same kid. Because they played without him and they still won.
No, I don't think this is the same kid.
That's not the same kid. Well, they still won the division. They end up winning the division without him. So this kid.
So now the question is,
I don't know if he's anywhere.
The other one at?
He may not be. He may not be.
But
anywhere.
He got eligibility because he has eligibility. So because that's why he got up out of there, because he was just like, I'm gonna just go out somewhere.
This is not the same kid.
That's a problem.
Yeah, this is not the same kid because this Calandria kid was at Virginia the year before.
Oh, it's Matthew Sluka.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one we talking about.
Yeah, that's the one who.
Okay,
that's the one remember.
He's at James Madison right now.
Where is he? Oh, he's at Madison right now. Okay, so
he's
okay,
at James Madison.
Calandria kid, I remember everything. I remember him playing it because they played a Thursday night, and he liked to run around. Like he likes to run a little bit. So I remember him, but none of this moves the needle on any of these moves right here. Maybe Simmons, Missouri. That's like the biggest thing. But hold, let me. I just said something about. I'm gonna get sidetracked again because I do that. So I said something about somebody being out of eligibility. And I know both of y'all have seen it. I don't know if you paid attention to it, and I do. So I might have asked you about this before. But I know the root of it. I'm gonna ask a question, but then I'm gonna answer it too. Have you seen? And I'm gonna give examples. Who did it?
Mm-hmm.
Josephs did it with Tennessee. The man had eligibility left. He's burnt it all. Why are you releasing long statements with the being said, I'm declaring for the whatever draft? Dude, you don't have any eligibility left. What are you declaring for?
Yeah.
Dude in Michigan did it. All these dudes do it. And
I don't understand.
I'm going. Hold on. Let me go on my rant real quick. This is one of my Joe Budden. I'm explaining. I figured it out because all these kids, they've come up in there in high school. They probably committed. They probably had 5 commitment ceremony. Like I committed, decommitted, whatever. They did that 5 times before they signed. Then they had the signing where it actually happened. So then you get to school, and then you transfer once or twice. When you transfer, you write a long letter saying yada yada yada. Thank you for the opportunity. With that being said, I'm going into the portal. I got a year or two. Do these? They're so dramatic, and they're used to all these damn letters. And dude, you've been playing 6 years, 5 years. You don't have any ability left. You don't have to declare for the draft. You're already in it. Come back. The declaring is who have eligibility. That's saying I'm legal. Declare draft. So on. If I see another dude with that being said, I'm declaring for the draft. I'm going to their Twitter. I've been leaving them alone. I ain't said nothing. I'll do it on Instagram and Twitter. I ain't said nothing to them. I'm going straight to the Instagram. It's like, what in, dog? You good? You too good for this? What?
That's the thing, man. That's the thing with these. I'm gonna sound like a boomer, whatever they call it, the old people. I mean, that's the way it is with a lot of these kids. They gotta post everything, whether it's the workout video, when you just need to work out, the declaring video. Yeah, I get you. I'm with you 100%.
And I agree, JC.
Yeah. I'm back from
I feel like college football is supposed to be for age group 17 to 22, maybe 23, maybe. Hey man, if you're 25
at the end of the season, you turn 23.
If you're 26, you got to be 26 at the end of the year. If 23 at the end of the year, if you're 23, 24, 25 before the season starts, hey man, you're supposed to be good.
Let me get close.
You're an adult.
There's a woman say something too, and I need to get closer to my camera. Diego Pavia, if you don't get your ass out of college football, and if you don't go somewhere, if you NCAA one more time for 1 year, I don't care how old you. And there's somebody else too. That dude that was at he gone now. The dude that was at Miami, and we had man get your when I played my 50th, like me and dude, I think we talk about this. And Rob, I'm gonna tell you. So I redshirted. So I was there 5 years. I felt like an old legend that fit.
Yeah.
Being around some of them became.
Yeah.
Man, you 17. I'm 22. It's just like I'm like the whole year, but there's no way I could have played this. Like, dog, I would have done 6 years, 7 years. Man, no.
Y'all remember that?
I have never.
I had to look it up because as soon as y'all was talking about it, it made me think of this dude. Y'all remember? I think the 2024 season was his last season, but Cam McCormick, the tight end that went from Oregon to Miami, he started his career in 2016 and finished in 2024. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He did 9 years.
That is insane, bro.
He did.
You have nothing in common with anybody in that damn locker room. Nothing. You can't even talk to the girls on campus, man. You too old for them. I'm just saying, man. Come on, dog.
Here's
how you 26 talking to 18-year-old.
No, but dude, how you 2 4-year cycles went through by the time you were in school? Came through, did 4 years, still there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man,
came through, did a whole new set of cycles.
This might be an unpopular
cycles of class.
This might be an unpopular statement, but I'm on Jerry Aguilar gone too. You too old. I'm sorry. I love what you did in your 1 year UT. Look, I love you, man. If you about to be 24 years old, man, I want these high school kids to come on in, bro. Yeah. I feel like they stealing opportunities away from these kids, and I'm not saying he is, but man, You shouldn't be able to play
No,
6 years in
years.
college football, bro. I just don't understand that.
That's the biggest point right there. And that's the things I was cooking about Sunday on my content that I didn't have any volume on. I was talking about one of the things I was talking about. This whole thing of with Pavia and Nodes, and even the portal itself, even just with the 4-year kids, is impacting the high school kids. Because if I'm a
Yeah,
college coach, and this is who out there, everybody who is a upper tier, tier 3, 4s, 5s, they're fine. Just like if you're a mid, lower tier 3, a 2 that got started project that's really got overlooked, and those guys are missing opportunities because of Diego Pavia, all these dudes that's applying for 6, 7 years, and then you have guys that if I got a spot and need some depth at safety, linebacker, whoever. In the past, I'm taking that 3-star mid guy that I know I can work with. I don't need you this year. I might need you this year. I can take you next year. I'm gonna develop you. Now I got a spot, and I'm get fucked thing is I don't have 2, 3, 4 years to develop you. I need to win in 2. I'm going to the portal and get this
yeah,
guy. You're gonna have to go to Ferris State, James Madison, whoever else, and show you can actually play, and I'll let you in 2 years. You showed me you can play.
hmm
I'm not on a hot seat. And or that's if that kid can go out there. But see, then it's like that mid dude who knows he should be going to a Power 4 school is looking at James Madison like, I don't know James Madison. I'm not going to whoever else. I don't deserve to be there. And they're turning that down, and then they're sitting there looking crazy with nowhere to go because you didn't understand the game.
Yeah.
And it's
JC,
different.
let me say this. We both were red shirts, right? I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
playing another season at UT. Hey man, I would have been all world.
But
I guarantee it.
if
Guarantee
I would
it.
have if even if they tried to, if I had another year, I wouldn't have played. I
I
lost
couldn't even
cheating a
imagine.
little bit my 5th year. It was just, I ain't supposed to, like, all my
Man,
class. Well, there's like 7, 8 of us. I wouldn't have. Ain't no way if they like, hey man, this is you were in a car accident in which I was your senior year. You had a medical whatever. We're gonna get you. You didn't get to work out before the season like you were supposed to. We're gonna give you a. I'd have said no. Ain't no way I could have played another. I wouldn't have done like no. There's no way I would have done
no.
6 years in school. It's no. Couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have done it.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this.
No
Let me
chance.
ask you this new twist. Hold up now. Hold up. You say that, but you got to understand, I
Yeah,
just thought
NIL.
about this. A lot of these kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the caveat. I know you like me.
Yeah.
As I was saying it, I was like, in this current situation, totally different.
Yeah.
I get what got. Okay, Diego, you sue the NCAA's pants off. Hey, as long as until you like get your doctorate.
Because think
Stay
about
in
it.
there, get them $2 million.
Diego
No, go
Pavia, he's not a 1st-round pick. He's not a 2nd-round pick. He's not a 3rd-round pick. Where else are you going to make that kind of money? So I'm not hating on him.
I'm not hating on it, but if you're in college at that age, you're supposed to be good. I'm just saying.
That's fair. That's fair.
You're supposed to be good if that's the case. I don't want to hear they overlooked me for nothing. Hey man, you 26 years old. You supposed to be. If I was 26 years old playing college football, I would win the Heisman too. I definitely be at the Heisman. Guaranteed.
And actually, that's why they didn't give it to him because he's old and you should be doing it. Is what they felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be doing this. You playing against kids.
No, they did play
Shit.
into it though. They played quarterback. So look, is there any? Let me go back. Is there any the run. Let's look at these running backs. Um, any oh well, because I think can't one of our targets today. What? How the hell is getting people out the portal, man? Like, what kind of what West Virginia have? Has anybody been? You been to West Virginia? I know you've been to West Virginia. You been to West Virginia,
I have.
brother?
No.
I have.
Y'all two been to West. Rob, you been to
I've
West
been to West
Virginia?
Virginia.
No.
Okay, don't go. If you've never been, it's okay to live without going to West Virginia.
Yeah, you can bypass
Because
that.
when I used to travel from, we used to go to Ohio. You until I got older. Why when my family used to travel, we used to go to and go from goes north. It goes through West Virginia, and always used to make sure we stopped in North Carolina and didn't stop as West Virginia. I used to sit there and look, and I was like,
Mhm.
all right, what's going on? Until I stopped in with
Yep.
as a young adult. I was like, this is way different. And not in a good. What the hell are you doing in
Yeah.
West Virginia, brother? Where y'all going to West Virginia for? They don't have any,
I
like
mean,
they
what
can't
are
they
you
can't
going to
have,
Mississippi for?
I ain't doing that good. What's going on? But let me
Hey, Jeff,
at least
what are you going to
they got
Mississippi
money
for if
that
that's
like,
the
money.
case?
So Deuce, do you remember the first Ole Miss? Do you remember the first letter you got from Ole Miss?
I do. I don't remember. I don't know if it was the first
You
letter, but
do?
I remember getting letters from them.
So the first letter I got from my high school coach's office. He called me down there. My high school head coach was white dude from Florida, Joe Montgomery. Love you, Coach Joe. Still talk to him to this day. He called me down there because usually it's first, it's like they ask you questions, but they didn't know where to send it to. It was like it's like they really starting to get interested in it. And I remember too. I remember the one that went to school and when they sent to the house, and because I still got to buy my like the early letters. And coach called me in there. He was like, so and so, so and so, so and so. I was like, oh cool. He was like, yeah, and he know how I am. He was like, put it out. And this was when they still had Johnny Rebel, when they still had the race
Mhm.
logo and shit on the, and they put it on the letter
Mhm.
and
And
everything.
they
It
waved
was
the rebel flag.
yeah, had all that shit on it. And he was like, you got this letter from Ole Miss. And I looked at him, he was doing it. He's like, I just wanted to make sure I told you before we tossed this shit.
Doing my due diligence.
He know, he's just like it's like out because that's your man, right? Like, I want you to just like, put it away. I just want to make sure you see. I was like, and my mom, because when it came to the house, my mom was like, what is this shit? I was like, what? You ain't going there. What is it? Hell no.
Hey,
Ole Miss,
JC, when I had
like,
just watched
say,
that
bro.
movie. If I had just watched the movie called Mississippi Burning. Hey, man, listen. Me and my grandfather had watched that.
Of course.
So listen, man, this is as true story as true can get. When that dude Joe Lee Dunn called my house, he has to speak to my granddad first. And after my grandfather handed me the phone, he looked at me and said,
Yo,
don't
he
do
done.
that. He was like, you're not going to school there. And that's not
They
it.
never got
I
that far
remember getting on the phone
from
with the
me.
guy. I got on the phone with him. I'm talking to him, whatever. And he was trying to get me to come visit. And I was like, hey, man, I just saw this movie called Mississippi Burning. I said, is that a true story? He said, oh, it's a lot different now. I said, you sure? Y'all got a rebel flag that y'all fly at y'all
They ain't,
stadium, and that's our state flag.
they ain't do nothing.
Ain't no way.
Listen, that was a Georgia state flag back then. The rebel flag was
Nah,
our state flag. So I was like, why y'all flying the rebel flag and it ain't even your state flag? I know what it means in Georgia, so it has to mean the same thing in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, JC, he hung up on me and he never called back.
They ain't got my
Man,
house. They
listen.
ain't
If you've been to
get
Mississippi,
oh shit. He got
if
there.
you've been to Mississippi, that's a place you ain't never got to go again. I guarantee it.
I have
That's true.
I had to go and I will we had a family reunion down there one time. And I'm into that. I'm not purposely going to Mississippi. I went to Mississippi because I had to go for work after you remember the tornadoes and stuff that I was doing when I was working with the disaster relief and we were doing funding. I went down there to help. But I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm not going down there just to be going like you gonna ask me to drive or fly? Like, no, I'm not voluntarily going to Mississippi. I will never unless there is a damn extreme situation. That's the only and I can't think of something that would get me back in Mississippi. No, I'm not going to Mississippi
No,
at all.
I'm good.
But
I had to drive through that when I drove cross country, and that is the last time I'm doing that.
does 10 run through Mississippi? Interstate 10?
The 20. Actually, 10. I
20,
think 10
20,
does
20.
too. 10 does too.
It
But
runs
it
like a
comes to the
north.
bottom part.
It runs to
No, so
whatever. So
10 runs through the bottom, like going through like New Orleans and Biloxi and all that type of stuff on the
the top,
coast. 20 rolls
the
through the
20's at the
middle.
top.
Yeah.
So all right, so look at this. So I don't okay, Rob, where's the South who did South Carolina get out the portal? Like where's y'all portal?
They got a
We
running
just
back, didn't
Y'all
they?
got any?
now we just recently got one of the receivers from Oklahoma State. We got I think today we signed 2 offensive linemen. We definitely need to start get going with these offensive linemen because I think we lost a total of 10 so far. Now
Oh
granted,
wow.
yeah. Now granted, now some of
Hey,
them definitely could have went, but at
oh, wait a minute.
least
So
3 of those guys that we had.
not my career.
What, say it again?
Daphne didn't leave, did he? So big Surratt. He didn't leave, did he?
Surratt left, yeah.
Shedrick. He you
Talk
shit
about
me.
Surratt.
Let me call his dad.
If I'm not,
Yes. Call his hold on.
let me see.
Let me get on the hold on.
I
Let
thought I
me
saw
see
something
this
the
shit.
other
Hold
day
on.
where it said he did get in the portal.
Quick story while you're talking about that because when I played he had me obviously he started as a true freshman guard in the SEC for South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
His dad, he was a senior when I was a junior. I was a freshman. So when I was coming up, so I played him, and he is a Philadelphia Eagles. He loved Reggie White, so he wore number 92, and I couldn't get 92 when he was there. So when he left, I inherited the 90 him close like big shit, like his dad. Me and him close to this day, and this one of them stories Deuce to where big shit. He wanted to go. Sorry, no offense. He wanted to go to Tennessee. He wanted to go to Tennessee. They waited too late, and he ended up going to South Carolina. And he started as a freshman in the line in the SEC. You know how hard that shit is to start as a true freshman.
Yeah.
The big set,
Well, nah, he's still
ain't
there.
no
I'm sorry, my
way.
bad. He's still
Man,
there.
if we don't,
Yeah.
I say shit. I'm getting. I'm about to off, dog. We was about to get on the phone. Shit ain't leaving.
But nah, still the simple fact that we got 10 offensive
We ain't
linemen
going nowhere.
in the portal, that's scary. That's scary right there. That's scary.
Shit, how many offensive linemen do
That
y'all?
is.
Like you ain't got like 15, 16 offensive linemen. Because like you got 5, but you got like 3 players. You got swing tackles. You probably only have like 14, 15 offensive linemen. If that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Deuce, ain't that about right?
Yep.
You carry
Yeah.
an offensive lineman?
Well, you try to carry a little bit more than that
Well, before
because
we
you
get these
have,
linemen,
you want to be too deep at almost every position.
how?
So you too deep at
So
least
so
2 to 3
so
deep
if
at
you
every
got 5
position.
of them,
2 deep at every position plus. So
that's
that's
why
10. So you about 15 to 18, about 18, just in case you want to have 3 centers.
I don't think they can. I don't think anybody carries 8. I think 15 might be the
I
max.
think you got about 18.
At offensive line?
I think he got about 18. Yeah, you got about 18 offensive linemen.
Mm,
Don't mean that you have. Don't mean that you have 18 adequately adequate offensive linemen, but I'm pretty sure you have at least 18.
Yeah. And we only had 3 coming in from high school. Like I said, we only have, I think, 3 so far that came in from the portal. So we definitely got to get two came from the portal. So we definitely got to get going with that O-line.
Yeah, you got to get going. We may have
look at these
18,
running
maybe
backs.
15 to 18.
So, because I'm looking at this. So Cam. So this is the one right here. Can't this is about him before they played in their conference. Cam Cook from Jacksonville State. I don't know how we missed out on him. For what Javonte Barnes, I don't know him. Who's on this name? Cam Davis, Juwan Johnson. I don't. There's not the impact guys didn't really move. Cam Cook is the one that came off the board that was like and Peoples. James Peoples from Ohio State to Penn State.
The one kid from North Carolina State, where did he end up going? Did he go to South Carolina?
Nope.
He hadn't gone anywhere yet.
Mm-mm.
Hollywood, he's still out there. So this is everybody who's so far as of about 2 ago. Oh no, this might be live. I think this is the live track. That's all the running backs right there. So
I think it's big news that Isaac Brown, he's staying at Louisville.
Oh, he's going back? That's who I want. Because I think that was just
he's going back.
Play.
Yeah, he's going back.
Yeah. And they saw what? Because they got a court. Who? What? Was he not on this list? Because I thought that I could have swore somebody committed a quarterback committed to Louisville. Maybe. But then you have all the RBs. So where do you think Cam Cook end up? Where y'all think? Is he gonna go back to Auburn or is he gonna end up at Texas?
I think he ends up at Texas.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
That was or Texas. That oil money, because y'all anybody on here watch Landman? Y'all watch Landman?
I do, absolutely.
So okay, you see the tech like they have the because that's the only reason they not the only. Yeah, it is the only reason they're doing what they're doing because they're paying like they have the resources and them folks down there. They tell you what you need to spend to get who you need. And that's what they're doing. And they got a good coach too. I like the coach. He looks like.
And not just that, aside from the money being at play. No, aside from the money being at play, it's just too inconsistent and too, I wouldn't say chaotic at Auburn, but it's just not a stable situation for him too, as far as the on the field stuff goes. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, having a new coach, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you got an established quarterback like Eli Manning, Arch Manning, that's gonna give me. He gonna need some targets. And,
no, I completely get why he's leaving.
Yeah, Cam can play.
For sure.
He's. I wish we could go out there, but I don't know if we go out there. What's that?
But going with Arch though, like you know how I feel about Arch. Like you can stop there. Why are we
Arch? Rob, I'm gonna tell you this year.
Is he going to a better quarterback?
This is
overrated.
This is January the 6th of 2026. Arch Manning will be one of the finalists for the Heisman Trophy next year.
Nah, I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it.
What you want to put on? I bet you a pack of Skittles.
I put a nice
Starburst or something.
I want some tequila. I ain't gonna lie.
What you gonna get? Okay,
I want some
let's do
tequila.
it.
A
There is
bottle
no
of tequila.
way in hell that. Or I'm gonna tell you, once I saw, and it was funny. It was like they were getting at him, and they showed him a high school, like he took out running in the competition against. It was like the defensive lineman was like 5'6", two
Like middle
ninety,
school kids.
running a 6'3", like middle school kids he was playing against. I was like, all right, I get it now. And he wasn't dominating that.
Mm,
Like, what are we talking about
no.
here? We already know what this is. Peyton, Eli,
Yep.
like all y'all, shout out Archie, all, but yeah, we know what this is about.
Hey man,
We know what this is about. Stop it, man. You know he ain't gonna be.
Arch Manning,
Stop it, man.
he's gonna be a
He
Heisman
will not.
finalist next year. Okay,
Okay,
he's gonna be a
I'm gonna keep
Heisman
scrolling.
finalist next year.
I'm gonna
I,
scroll.
I know that y'all didn't watch the bowl game that he played against Michigan,
No,
and he had 2 touchdowns,
no, I did.
221, 2 touchdowns. He had
I
9
did.
carries for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, I'm just letting y'all know
Mm.
our Manning coming out season was at that bowl game, and when next season hits, Arch Manning gonna be up for the Heisman Trophy, bro. He gonna be a finalist, I guarantee you. Watch.
I need to.
And if
I
Cam,
need
and if Cam go there,
to find you. I
if
need to
Cam,
find you.
if Cam go there, he is definitely gonna be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy.
Let me find this mute button.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. Hold on. I got a question for you, dudes. Who the hell is Max Anderson? Look. Who's this?
I,
Who's this offensive lineman? I
uh,
don't even know who this dude is.
he might be one of those players
Who is
that
he?
they told to leave because we got some other guys coming in.
So look.
You
Hmm.
All
want
right.
another
Look,
opportunity to
I
play
almost. I almost.
somewhere?
So,
Hey,
so
listen,
let's
man.
talk about that. So
He,
we had
he's
20.
transferring.
Hold
He's
on.
transferring to Kentucky from UT. You tell me what he is.
Let me ask you because this is to your point. We This is the second straight year we've had 20 plus players leave. It was 21, 22, maybe more. And I saw an article, and this is you have to take this with that really the only dude that they didn't leave or they felt some sort of way about leaving was Ricky Gibson. Everybody else, they were like, okay, all right.
That was exactly, Jeff. Exactly. That says everything to
Okay.
you right there.
All
That's
right.
what.
All
So I'm
right.
telling you, a lot of these
One thing
coaches
that
who are hoping that some of these guys go in the portal.
it does. Yeah. Yeah. See, like, for one, I'm about to go on one of my little, I'm going to go on a shorter rant this time about Caleb Herring. Caleb Herring because we had watched some of our bowl game, and I saw 31 Caleb Herring, who's talent. I like him. I always liked him. The player,
Hmm.
thought he was a really good third, in like coming up in the bowl game, and this dude was like barely coming off the ball, walking, wasn't rushing, and I was like, man, what the hell is he doing? What's wrong with him? He was playing. At least he didn't do. He should have. If he was gonna play like that, he should have opted out because he did not put forth any sort of effort in that game, in that bowl game. It was sad. It was terrible
Jeff,
because
you
I've
watched the whole
watched him
game.
his whole career. I
You watched the
watched
whole game.
3/4 of the game. I watched 3/4. I watched most of it.
I can't even remember the plays I watched yet. I didn't watch half of the game, and I'm
Yeah.
debating on if I want to go watch it on TV yet.
Oh no, ain't no way I'm
I'm
going
gonna,
back to watch a recording of that bullshit.
I'm gonna go back and watch it because every game I go back and I watch and I critique myself. Because it was a bowl game and we lost, I didn't go watch it immediately. I just said, you know what, I need a minute. But I'm gonna go watch it and I'll make sure to pay attention to what he's doing. But I can't say anything
Watch
on him or anyone else in the game because I didn't watch much of it. And
Go
I
for
was at the game.
31, and you'll like this is terrible. Like he again, I watched this man play. That wasn't him. He was barely coming off the ball. Like he would just stand up. He would get out of his seat. Wasn't rushing, doing that. Like, he was just trying not to get hurt. Which, with that money on the line in a meaningless ball game, the state of what we living in right now. That's like
Yeah, that's the
what
state of
we're
what
dealing.
we in.
Yeah.
That's the state.
All right, so it's gonna be more interesting in this. Some of these portal signings. It's crazy right now. We'll talk more about this on Thursday before we get in. But let me get real quick. I don't have my graphic up for. Oh, we'll do this one. The final four right now. Just the thoughts on how we got? Like we don't have a whole lot of time. We don't get everybody out of here. We don't have a lot of time, but just how we landed. No, who is this? Rob said nobody. I've been calling Indiana since we had that first take from what I've seen this year. So, and I'm gonna do this again. Every chance I get, I'm gonna just tell Deuce how wrong. Rob, if you haven't noticed by now, every chance I get to tell Frederick how wrong he was. I was sitting in this seat too. When I was having this conversation with him, and we were going back and forth about. We had one loss at the time, or maybe I think we had just lost to Georgia, and we were talking about we have our typical how good he thinks the SEC is, and how whatever I think I don't give a shit, and like this team will beat this team, yada yada yada. I was like, I said right now, I said, all right, I'm gonna pick, and this was early. It was early in the year. It was before they took off. I said Indiana will beat the shit out of us right now. They won't. Oh, they won't. They something SEC. SEC something SEC. I heard. Didn't hear no reason of why Indiana wouldn't beat the brakes off of Tennessee. And I'm this is me. Love Tennessee to death. Cares, always will. But I'm realistic.
Rob, I'm so happy that
Remember
he's
that
cutting in and out.
when I told you that?
I'm happy that he's
Oh,
just
you got
cutting
a
in and out, Rob. I'm glad they can't hear nothing he's saying. hey, Rob, it's like he said, wah, 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 wah. All right, Charlie Brown.
Let me shorten this. I told you about
Rob, wah, wah, wah.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh.
about 5 weeks into the season, and Indiana was Indiana. That's the short story.
Hey, man, you did. You right.
I don't have to
You
wait.
right. I'm wrong. I was wrong. Hey, man, I commit when I'm
It took a
wrong. I can
long
admit
time.
when I'm wrong. I was wrong.
Long time.
I was wrong. You're
Oh,
right,
that
Rob. I was
you
wrong,
are like
Rob.
definitively wrong.
Rob, I was wrong, Rob. I was wrong. You're right.
It
You're
happens
right. I was
sometimes.
wrong.
It happens sometimes.
But here's the most intriguing part about this Final Four, real quick though. I don't want to pick because I know we're doing a show on Thursday. Here's the most intriguing part about this playoff to me. These last 4 teams left. Every last one of those coaches came from the Nick Saban tree. All of them.
Yeah, they are. They are. And
That
I
right
think there were
there,
2 more.
and here, yeah, it was 2 more before the Final Four. Here's the other part of that makes it so intriguing to me. All of these coaches came from that tree. You know what that says about you as a coach? If you're Nick Saban and these are the coaches that you were hiring, that means you're going after the best coaches that you can possibly find to be on your coaching staff, and you're not worried about somebody coming in and taking your job. A lot of these coaches hire people who they think they can control or who they can handle. Nick Saban is hiring the best. He was hiring the best coaches college football had to offer. To offer. didn't care, and they didn't care that they left, and he was doing this year in and year out because somebody was leaving and getting a better job. I have a
Yeah.
so much respect for him as a coach because you know how confident, not just confident, but how much confidence you have to have in your ability as a coach to be able to bring in guys that they want to be head coaches, and they still come in and they do a really good job with you, and they go on to do their own thing and still win. That right there tells you a lot about the man and a coach. That right there is the reason why I feel like he's the best coach to ever play coach college football.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree with
And
that,
that now
hundred
that I
percent.
can
And some of these coaches,
yeah.
some of these coaches need to take that into account when they're hiring coaches. Don't just go out and hire somebody that you can just a little errand boy. You need to hire somebody who has aspiration to be a head coach somewhere because that makes your team better.
The manager I've ever had did said something real similar to what you she's like why I hired you and why I kept you and why I let you leave. She's like, I hired you because you were smarter than me. Like like
Yeah.
she was being modest. She was a great manager or whatever. But you were smart because you were like you had all these aspirations because you were I had an energy. But I hired you because you were smarter than me. Then the thing that we were doing, I was smarter than her at, but she was a really good manager. She's like, I hire
Hmm.
people that are smarter than me. And like she said that, and I was like, I always took that when I did manage people. I would always hire people that I knew that I thought were smart as or smarter than me. And had no qualms about it. I used to really want you to, if I leave, you could take my job, or if I get fired, you could take my job, or you go get a job that's whatever right now. Like, because if you do that, that means if you have my success is based on your success and vice versa. If you are doing that, then that means we all winning. And that's like I never had any qualms about telling somebody who I managed that they were smarter than me or better than me or good or whatever. I had no ego with that. And
Hmm.
so that's what I think you saying with he had Sarkeesian, he had like Kiffin ain't there, like the two that ain't even in the play, like even Golden, all these dudes, like I forgot who got beat in the last
Kirby,
round.
Kirby
He got all
Smart.
these.
Kirby
Kirby came
Smart.
from his Kirby and somebody else that
Yeah.
came from his, and he's got so many more. And it's like if he just wasn't such a dick, like he would be like, or such a curmudgeon, he'll be coaching. If he didn't have like Dabo, he had the same Dabo disease, and he just said, "I don't want to do this no more." Dabo's still hanging on,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Hmm.
got the same. So he just didn't, that's the control thing, and he didn't like where it was going. But coaching wise and what he does, there ain't no. He, he's better than Belichick. He's better. He's like one of the, if not, and even that's a little bit different because it was. He's one of the best coaches, any coach ever of any
Yeah.
Yeah,
sport.
yeah, for sure.
Give me your take on. First of all, give me Indiana, Oregon State. Don't no pick. We're gonna say the picks for later on. Just
Gotcha.
your assessment on how they got there, what you think.
Uh, it's a real interesting matchup. Indiana just keeps on proving people wrong that don't believe in them. Really great balanced team. I like Oregon. The thing that really impresses me about Oregon, they got a really, really good defense. Really good defense. I don't like what I saw from them in the last game against Texas Tech offensively. They definitely struggled. It didn't look good, but their defense definitely kept them in it. They've been looking good all year long. I think honestly, between Indiana and Oregon, in my opinion, I think these are the two best defenses that are left in the Final Four. Um, the question is, does Oregon have enough firepower on the offensive end to keep up with Indiana? Because I think Indiana is going to be able to move the ball. Not going to say they're going to move it with ease, but they're going to be able to move the ball for sure. So does Oregon have enough offensive firepower to keep up with what Indiana is going to do? That's my biggest question.
Like that. Ole Miss, Miami. What you think about them?
Oh man, I think I'll start with Ole Miss. In the second half performance we saw from Chambliss, that was like Superman, gargantuan, whatever you want to call it. It was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen from a quarterback. The question is that are we going to be able to see it again? Because speaking of defenses, uh, Miami's no slouch when it comes to defense. They definitely got a great front four with Bain and I forgot my other man's name on the other side. They're going to be able to put pressure on him. The question is he going to be able to have another performance like he did against Georgia, be able to escape out of the pocket and make great plays? He was able to do that against Georgia and propel them in that second half. But I really do like Miami. I think Miami, maybe not as good as Indiana, but they remind me of Indiana because I think they've got great balance on both sides of the ball. Defense can pretty much, hang with anybody, and I think offensively they can do enough to put up enough points on the board to get them to win. So we'll definitely see, but I think that one is probably out of the two games that we got, I think that one's probably the most intriguing matchup.
All right, I love it. Think about that for 2 days. We're gonna revisit this so we can get your pick analysis. Deuce, I know you. That sounded like a Deuce analysis, man. Get your take on the start with Indiana.
Well, I think both of these games are gonna be very intriguing. They're the last two. They're the last 4 teams left, and I think you're gonna see some really good football played in these last 2 games. One thing I heard Rob say about was Oregon's defense. Now, offensively, I don't take away from what they did in that game simply against Texas Tech for one reason. Texas Tech had 41 sacks on the season. They were a top 10 defensive football team this year. So them scoring 23 points on them, that tells me that they can score on a good defense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball for them, they showed up and showed out, man. Those 2 interceptions they got in that game, they kind of sealed it for them. And I think Indiana has shown and proved, as Jeff has said, I'm gonna give Jeff his credit, even though I know I can't even get those words out of my mouth. But Indiana, what impresses me more about them, it's not their offense. I do like the leadership of their quarterback. I think he does a really good job of keeping that team, even-headed, and when he needs to make a play with his legs, even though he looks very awkward doing so, he's done a good job of doing so and keeping the play alive for them. But I like their defense and how hard they play. That's what I like more than anything. Now, is that defense going to be able to do the same thing same thing against Oregon that Texas Tech did? I don't know if they are or not. Now, can Oregon's defense do the same thing against Indiana? Now, keep in mind, it's hard for a team to win and beat you 2 times in a season. And they played earlier than this year, and Indiana did win at Oregon. This is going to be at a neutral site. So I'm looking to see a really, really good football game, and it may come down to about 2 or 3 points or a field goal at the end. When it comes to Ole Miss and Miami, I did not expect for Miami to be there. I did not expect for Ole Miss to be there. But, it is hard to beat a team twice in one season. Ole Miss found a way to get that win, and they showed up. Now, their quarterback showed out. Trinidad Chambliss, hey, man, that kid is amazing. He showed out. Can Miami, with that good pass rush that they have, disrupt their game? The best part of Ole Miss's game is their passing game, and the best part of Miami's defense is their pass rush. Those 2 things are going to collide in this game, and it's going to be fun to see who comes out on top of that.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely, Vince Young performance by him, and it was but on a big, you look tiny bit on a bigger stage. So, and I'm gonna start with them. Like Miami, I think, and I'll be complete. This is some of my. I'm gonna speak with my head and speak with my heart. Just because of the whole dynamic, a little bit when we first started the bracket, when all of here we talked about Ole Miss, I said they either gonna fall apart or they like a rocket. Like at the time I didn't know. I didn't know which one they were gonna do because it was like there wasn't gonna be no middle ground. They were just gonna fall apart because Lane left, or it was talked about is like we're gonna prove some things like motivation like that. People don't understand as an athlete when somebody leaves you for what you think is that look, that's like a lateral situation. We just talked about. I don't understand. Like the money was the same in the portal. What are you leaving us? That hurts. Like, and it's like you
Yeah.
use that and you take that and internalize. It's like, what did you leave us? Some of these distractions that people are understanding that Lane brings with him. Like Lane does a lot of great things. But Lane has his Hollywood bullshit with him too. And it's like Golden seems like Golding seems like a really just he gonna have to get a little bit of personality. He don't have none. He gonna have to learn how to do an interview and talk to these sideline reporters, do something. But I could tell he can coach. And they play hard because, and I'm gonna tell you, really, really, the the most pivotal point in that when I was watching it, when Georgia was down 3, they were driving, they hit that big play. It got down to the 3. They called or the play before that. But no, they got down to the 3 and called timeout over there. He did this. He called them all over there. And somebody wasn't coming. He was like, "No, come here." He settled defense. If Georgia scores that touchdown, I think the game is probably over with. Mentally, it was just going to shatter them. Them holding them to a field goal gave them the confidence. The way he handled those situations throughout the game, I think just shows something about him. And he seemed like the more seasoned game. Kirby panicked. Kirby panicked, and he didn't. And I like the story of Ole Miss. Even them, I already told you we talked about before about the why I didn't go to Ole Miss. Like I'm gonna put all that to the side. I like them, but one way to get on my good side is to beat Ohio State. I do not like hate and
Yes.
but outside of the feelings is important. Their defensive line, and then, they showed the flaw. And Ohio State positions, they have the defense line, they have the back end on the defense, got good linebackers, but they've been the last couple years. They don't have Orlando Pace out there. They don't have any of those guys out there right now. And Miami exposed that. Miami exposed that big time. So that's where this game is going to be. Both of these games, actually, I'm going to talk about for Indiana and Oregon. And I love this because both of these games are going to be decided by what goes on with them big, ugly, athletic, fat, big boys that can play this athletic down there. It's going to be decided because Bain, if you from Miami, if he got off the bus, you like, hey, we can block him. We're going over there. No. He is a dude. No, you're not. He's a dude. What Miami does on the defensive line and just the grit that they played. I haven't been a fan. I'm not a huge fan of Cristobal. Not a huge fan of Bet. I think because if you're talking about the quarter, like if everything is equal in the line, you talk about the quarterbacks, I'm taking Chambliss over what Miami's bringing to the table. So that is going to be like if it comes down to that, this is going to take it. If Miami asserts themselves if they can win in the trenches, let it get to that point, then that's going to be good. So but I'm looking. That's the matchup I'm looking for there. Indiana, I love Indiana. They just fit. They're old, they're physical, and they beat people up. They maul people. they play. Indiana plays a different type of game, and even with Oregon, with Lanning, they aren't the finesse team that they used to be. They're a little more physical, but they're still not quite Indiana. If you watch that, because I think it was 13, that's the only game I watched
Yep.
that game because that's when I was on. It was one of the things to where Oregon gave, of course, obviously with the Big Ten championship game with Ohio State, gave them their. They matched to a degree their physicality. Um, I can't get the Oregon game out of my head. That's why I don't love Oregon. I did well, new. It's a new, well coached on their shoulder. They got a Heisman winner. People don't really respect. That's trying to prove something. They just got going for them, and that's going to be. I going to be two really good clashes that we're going to see. So, like I said, we're going to talk about it some more. I talk more than what I wanted to about, again, not picking anybody yet, but these are going to be two really, really good, really interesting games. Looking forward to seeing them on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, man.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So with that, Duke, with Rob, what anything you want to leave us with, man? Anything you want to take us out with?
Nah, really, it's just looking forward to, like you said, Thursday and Friday. With these two matchups, like I said, I'm a big guy that's a guy that's big into parity. So the fact that we've got teams like Indiana and Ole Miss part of the Final Four, Oregon finally getting to that stage where they can compete on a regular basis, and Miami potentially being back. So I definitely love it. Not having the same old teams in it every single year. So definitely, this is going to be an exciting Final Four. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
The exciting part for me is the fact that this was what this tells college football and what it tells recruits coming out of high school. You don't have to go to Georgia. You don't have to go to Alabama or Ohio State. You can go to any school nowadays, man. As long as you got a good group of guys with you, you can win. It's about chemistry also,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about your coach. So I do understand guys following coaches nowadays because these coaches that are in this group, I'd probably follow most of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna keep with that theme, and I love the parody, and I want my team to. I want Tennessee, I've never been a conference guy, so I love to see it being spread out, and I love to see every year you don't know. It's like this year. There's so many teams that you don't know who's gonna win it. We don't any one of these four teams could win it, and it hasn't
Yep.
always been that. And even before we got here, appreciate that. And the game is going more to the parity of cohesion together. Who can coach a good team and who can just get and stay healthy, get throughout the season. And then we don't go into a season thinking there's just only two or three teams that can win it. I love that for college
Mm-hmm.
football. The fact that we go into a season of who is going to win that. We don't know who's going to the playoffs. We don't know who's going to the playoffs anymore. So I love that for college football. So yeah,
And
I think
real quick,
yeah.
just real quick point. Piggyback off of what you said. If anybody would have told you before the season started that two of the Final Four teams were from the Big Ten, you would have thought Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. The fact that we got
Yeah,
Indiana and Oregon, that just speaks to what you're talking about.
If you had told anybody
yeah,
that
that's it.
would be the
I,
last four teams in the playoffs,
I
no
would,
one would believe you.
Yeah.
and if somebody said one, I wouldn't have said Ole Miss, and then ACC. Well, that's a different
I
story.
definitely
Love
would
y'all
have said
ACC,
Ole
but
Miss.
yeah, wouldn't have said Ole Miss. So they ain't even make it. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. We'll talk about that on Thursday. Anybody who we'll get
Yes.
this out there. Appreciate y'all guys, man. Always appreciate y'all opinions. Always respect y'all opinions. I think it's a great conversation. Um, I love talking OK sports. I might have to take off the OK because the OK was me doing it begrudgingly. I'm to enjoy this. Even talking about sports things, so I might drop the OK and the dots here. We'll see. So we'll be here on, like I said, Thursday, man. Thursday, both of them. And, we appreciate it, man. JCTV, Big Dude, Rob, brothers, two of my brothers, man. One from brother. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll get back on here and do this thing again. Shout outs to everybody. But yeah, JCTV, we'll holler.
We out, baby.
Peace.
To this stop recording in a minute.